General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 26th. Something tells me this next stretch is about to blow wide open in the most unsettling way possible. Because on the surface, it looks like one thread of secrets, but underneath it feels like three different traps snapping shut at the same time. Carly is about to get an update that is brand new to her, but already old news to someone else. And that alone says a lot about how twisted this whole situation has become. Marco is gone, and Lucas is left carrying the weight of that loss while reflecting on the regrets tied to Marco's death. But the real danger, at least if you ask me, is not just grief. It is what happens when grief puts people in the wrong place at the wrong time. Lucas is at the castle, and he has no idea that Jocelyn is being held in the basement right under his feet. That detail right there feels like the kind of cruel irony the story loves to use. We can feel the tension building because the castle is not just a location anymore. It is turning into a pressure cooker. It seems like Lucas being there could become the one thing nobody planned for. He may be walking around that place thinking he is simply trying to understand what happened to Marco, maybe even trying to make peace with the aftermath, but the truth could be far more dangerous. If Nathan is sneaking around the castle too, then this is not some harmless coincidence. This feels like a setup. It feels like someone is moving pieces into place, and Lucas may be walking straight into the center of it without realizing it. If he catches even a glimpse of what is going on below the surface, then everything changes. Jocelyn being kept hidden there means the castle is carrying a secret too big to stay buried forever, and Nathan may have reached the point where keeping that secret matters more to him than anything else. And that is where things get especially tense, because Nathan discovering that Lucas has seen too much could turn Lucas from an accidental witness into a direct target. I mean, think about it. Nathan has already been moving like someone with a mission, someone who understands the value of control. But once Lucas stumbles close enough to the truth, Nathan may not have the luxury of leaving him alive and free. That is the part that gives this whole situation a darker edge. There is a very real possibility that Nathan could attack Lucas just to protect the secret. And if that happens, then Jocelyn is no longer the only person trapped in that nightmare. Lucas could become another prisoner of the castle, whether physically or through silence, because secrets like this rarely stay quiet unless somebody is willing to make them stay quiet. Meanwhile, Sidwell is still hunting for Marco's killer, and he seems to be chasing the wrong shadow. He may still believe Sonny is responsible, and that misunderstanding could become just as dangerous as the truth itself. The thing about Sidwell is that he does not feel like a man interested in patience. He feels like someone who wants answers now, and if the answers are wrong, he may not care as long as they point him in a direction that serves his agenda. But then Britt may call him, and that call could shift everything. Britt seems ready to reveal that Cullum is the real killer, and if that is true, then the entire blame game around Marco's death starts to unravel in the worst possible way. This is where the story becomes more than a murder mystery. It becomes a race against exposure, escape, and survival. Britt may be preparing to run with Rocco once that truth comes out, because she understands something very important. She knows that once Cullum is exposed, she may not live long enough to enjoy the relief. There is a sense that Britt is not just scared of what Cullum has done, but of what Cullum might do if he realizes she is ready to talk. That kind of fear usually comes from experience, not imagination. And because of her illness, her time already feels limited, which makes every move she makes seem even more desperate. She may be trying to get away with Rocco before everything collapses, but that does not mean she will succeed. In fact, it almost feels like the closer Britt gets to freedom, the more dangerous the road becomes. Then there is the possibility that Cullum catches Britt and Rocco before they can disappear. That would be a brutal turn, but honestly, it would fit the mood of this whole situation. Nothing about this path feels safe. Rocco may think he is simply caught up in an escape, but if Cullum gets hold of them first, then both of them could be trapped in a situation even Dante and Lulu do not understand yet. And that is the really painful part. Dante and Lulu may be searching for their son, believing he has run off with Britt, when in reality, they might be circling the wrong trail entirely. They could be looking in the wrong direction while the real danger sits hidden somewhere else, out of sight and out of reach. It makes sense that Dante and Lulu would be frantic because from their perspective, this looks like a disappearance with Britt at the center of it. But the story may be deliberately misleading them. They could be missing a clue that points directly to where Britt and Rocco are being held by Cullum. That kind of missed detail is exactly how these stories build suspense. The truth is not hidden because nobody cares. It is hidden because everybody is looking at the wrong thing. And when parents are chasing one version of the story while their child is trapped in another, the tension gets almost unbearable. The castle, the basement, Britt's illness, Cullum's possible violence, Nathan's secrecy, Lucas's accidental discovery, it all starts to feel connected by one terrifying thread. At the same time, Alexis and Ava are leaving town to meet with an artist, and that trip could end up changing everything in a way very few people are ready for. This artist may know who Delilah really was, and maybe even who the father of Delilah's baby truly is. That alone would be enough to send shockwaves through town, but it sounds like the truth might go even deeper than that. If Alexis comes back with a major revelation, then this is not just about identity. It is about buried history, family ties, and maybe a long hidden manipulation that has been waiting for the right moment to surface. And if Sidwell is somehow tied to Delilah's story, then the picture becomes even more complicated. Was he involved from the beginning? Was he the one who targeted Delilah in the past? Or is he only now being pulled into a mess that was already set in motion long before anyone realized how ugly it would get? That possibility is the kind of thing that makes this story feel bigger than any single crime. Delilah's past may connect several people who thought they were standing on separate ground. If Alexis uncovers the wrong name, or the right one at the wrong time, the fallout could be huge. And I think that is exactly why this artist meeting matters so much. It may not just deliver one piece of information. It may unlock a chain reaction, the kind that forces everyone to rethink who they trust and what they thought they knew. When a dead woman's history starts reaching into the present, nothing stays small for long. Then there is Sunny and Laura, who are clearly aiming their focus at Sidwell, but they may need to peel back the layers around Sidwell's manservant, Pascal, to get anywhere. And that feels like another one of those situations where the obvious target is not the real weak point. Sunny may decide to contact Pascal in secret and confront him with what he knows about the crimes that have been piling up around him. That move could become incredibly important because Pascal may be the one person who can either protect Sidwell or help bring the whole structure down. If Sunny can make Pascal understand that Sidwell cannot shield him forever, then Pascal may realize the walls are closing in. The idea that Pascal could take the fall for Dalton's death is especially explosive. If Sidwell tries to pin everything on him, then Pascal might finally see that his loyalty is a one-way street. That could force him into the kind of corner where cooperation is the only way out. Sunny and Laura may be able to pressure him into a secret partnership, one that turns him from protected servant into reluctant insider. And that would be a huge shift, because once a man like Pascal starts talking, the whole operation around Sidwell could begin to crack. Maybe the only way Pascal avoids prison is by helping Sunny and Laura from the inside. Maybe the truth about Dalton's murder is already too tangled to hide. Or maybe Pascal has been waiting for a chance to save himself all along. So right now, it feels like everyone is standing at the edge of some bigger collapse. Carly is about to learn something that changes her understanding of Marco's death. Lucas is one wrong step away from discovering Jocelyn in the basement. Nathan may be willing to silence anyone who gets too close. Britt is racing against her illness and Cullum's violence. Dante and Lulu are chasing a trail that may already be too late. Alexis and Ava are heading toward a revelation that could rewrite Delilah's entire story. And Sonny and Laura are putting pressure on the one man who may be able to expose Sidwell from the inside. The strange part is that all these separate threads still feel like they might belong to the same hidden design. Maybe that is the real secret here. Maybe nothing is random. Maybe Marco's death, Delilah's past, the castle, Jocelyn's captivity, Britt's desperate escape, and Sidwell's growing paranoia are all pieces of one much larger game. And if that is true, then the real question is not who is going to crack first. It is who is already too deep to get out.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.